the law concerning parental rights varies state by state, but it is all largely similar, which is that where parental rights end is where you're abusing the children, and the threshold typically for abuse is pretty high. It can obviously be physical abuse, but it usually needs to be fairly extreme physical abuse. It can be neglect if you just leave kids out on the street to starve to death. Those are situations where you'll have the state will come in and take the kids away, potentially end parental rights. And there's also, you can have extreme emotional abuse, but the threshold for that, again, typically under the law is quite high. And, it varies state by state, and there's a pendulum to it where you can have the state more vigorous on protecting the child and taking kids away from parents. And typically what happens is you'll have some instances that are clearly an abuse of the government power, and there'll be some press coverage and people will get upset and say, hold on a second. And then the pendulum swings the other way where you have much more leeway for parents. And then you have some horrible instances of kids being left with abusive parents. And so you often see a system getting more or less interventionist, swinging in a pendulum. That being said, all right, taking your kids to a drag show, if they're little kids, I disagree with that. You disagree with that. I think that's bad parenting.